Good morning. Today is the 28th. I've had the Full Self-Driving 12.5.4 for a couple of days now. I had real fun coming back from Houston with it. We're back here on South Padre Island. I am currently at 278,001 miles. So over 250,000 miles in the past 2.5 years. Try to connect to my Starlink Mini here instead of the other Starlink. I'm here at the Holiday Inn Beach Resort on South Padre Island. As you know, I drive both Uber and Lyft. Most of my day, I am basically trolling for rides. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. So I have no destination set. Full self-driving should be able to handle simple input like a turn signal to know what I want to do. So we're going to start off here. Put it into drive. Wait for the icon to pop up. Okay, we have a good icon. I'm going to engage, and I'm going to hit the turn signal. I'm going to go this way. See if we can get this car to get out of the parking lot of this hotel. This is tricky. The markings are really bad here. We need to go on the right-hand side of that building. Previous versions would not cross these markings up here when I signaled. But the car is, I'm going to signal to try to get to go across. It's not quite gone across yet. Just thinking about it. Now let's signal that way because we want to go this way. Okay, still, I haven't touched the brake, accelerated on any steering, just giving turn signals. Not very smooth. Would be nice if it would have crossed back there. We just want to let the car drive now. And see where it takes me. What was it, 2 years ago? I can't remember what version it was. I just engaged the full self-driving to see where it would take me. And it was February, and it was like an hour and a half later. I was in a little bitty town called Port Mansfield. I was figuring the car would only do go straight most of the time, but occasionally it was making right turns on its own. I don't know. So it's going to turn right here. I still see a whole lot of navigation issues on the island. It's like the map is not up to date with the way traffic patterns are yet. This has been an ongoing issue for 4 years since I've been here. This never seems to be getting fixed or addressed. The cars decide doing 35 into 30. If you check my channels, you'll see some long drives. I do a lot of uncut videos because I spend way too much time driving. I don't have time to sit down and edit the videos. I could put my laptop in here and use my keyboard and mouse and work on it while the car drives, but I'm paying attention to the road. I am impressed and I appreciate how well this version of full self-driving is doing, but I still am running into stupid stuff. I've had about a total of 6 times now where it wants to come to a complete stop for a green light. And there's no pedestrians, nothing. Sometimes when I'm the only one driving, there's no one around. That car needs to stay in his lane. Driving back from Houston, and I'm on the signal to get out of the lane. This is not very clear here. This is a no turn on red sign. Previous versions don't see no turn on reds. I don't know if this one does. Can't really test that right now with this car in front of me. It looks like he is following the traffic rules. And it's kind of fun to watch, the steering wheel just kind of move around by itself. Not sure what it's doing. I call it the Elvis steering wheel. Visualization, seeing the pedestrians and what have you. And my drive back from Houston, I had a lot of navigation issues. It got me lost back on a gravel road and everything. And then another place, the speeds were just constantly going up and down nonstop. And it's not this version of the software. It's been doing that for every version in those particular areas that I was familiar with. It's still doing it. Coming from the airport through Los Fresnos, it absolutely refuses to see the 65-mile-per-hour speed limit sign. You'll see the 60, but never above that. And it's not switching to where I can go ahead and control the speed, because I keep it in automax. I like the automax because it's sometimes better, especially when I run into these areas where the speed is flip-flopping everywhere from 45, 75, 45, 75. If I have it where I select the speed, I'll get a lot of heart, slowing down and braking and what have you every time it sees a speed change. The automax kind of alleviates that, but then I have to disengage to get the car to slow down in speed zones. As you see right now, the car is handling everything. No navigation put in. It should be able to handle an entire drive with no navigation put in. And like I said, I should be able to turn on the turn signal and it know what I want it to do and it to do it. And here it is again, a green light. Why are we stopping at a green light? I'm having to hit the accelerator. That truck is a little over his line, but he's not moving. Why are we stopping at a green light? There is no people in that intersection. There's no reason. So that's 7 times it's come to a stop, or tried to come to a stop for a green light. I'm pretty sure the visualization, I didn't glance down at the screen because I'm watching the road and the people. I'm pretty sure it was showing the green light. It always has. So it's not like it thought it was red. It's not like it thought it was yellow. And yeah, that's aggravating because the previous version didn't do that. So we've gone to a more advanced version. There is a lot of YouTubers out there praising how well it is, how beautiful it is, and what have you. So is Tesla really gearing all of their training data towards the area that the big YouTubers drive, so that they get the perfect drives for advertising purposes? I really don't know, but it does feel like that because, like I say, every issue I have seen, navigation issues is what they are almost all the time, has never been addressed, has never been taken care of for the past 4 years. Even when I disengage and report them, and it's not me, it's not my car. I've talked to 3 or 4 other people on my trip back from Houston, especially going towards Victoria, Kingsville, at those superchargers. They have the exact same problems in the same areas. Some places on the interstate, we're just driving straight. It's not quite an interstate, it's a highway. The car wants to jump in the left-hand only turn lane. Why? Heading between, Corpus Christi and San Antonio, it wants to jump into the hurricane evacuation lane. Stupid stuff. And it's constant and it's still been going on. And this latest version is still doing the same thing. If you look at my long 2-hour drives, I have a couple of them. On this version, I got a whole bunch of videos I need to upload. It's ignoring speed limit signs. It's coming up with strange, different speed limits out of nowhere. And I can pull up Waze and some other map programs, and it sees the proper speed limits. I'm going to try to hit the turn signal here to see if the car understands that I want to try to turn here at the light. See what it does. It turns off. It just keeps going. So no, it's not going to listen to my request to turn. That's kind of sad. It should do that. I tell it to change lanes, it should change lanes, no problem. Ooh, another rock chip somewhere. Too many rock chips. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to change lanes right up here. To go into this little turn area. And it's just going to disable. So it's not going to listen to my commands on that. That's, to me, is in a way a little disappointing. I would like to have, and the car should be smart enough to understand, oh, he wants to turn. And there's a light up ahead, so this might be where he wants to turn. Because he's not in a lane that he wants to change out of. And now it's switching lanes on its own. It could stay in that lane. Now it's switching back. Maybe it was moving to give that car that was turning a little leeway. As we get up here a little bit further on the island here, I'm going to disengage. And here we are getting to the right-hand lane. These lanes merge, so and it's going back and forth on its own. But yeah, this is South Padre Island. This road is actually, it'll go on a few more miles, eight more miles to the end of the road. When we get out, there's nothing but dunes. Uber and Lyft, I'm trying to, I normally work in the computer IT, and I really should have grabbed a bunch of my tools and stuff, but I want to be hauling them around for a couple of days in Houston and not have room in my car for people's suitcases and stuff. Need to start going back to doing some of my IT work and stuff and scheduling those work orders. Doing Uber and Lyft gives me the flexibility that if SpaceX is going to launch, I don't have to worry about canceling work orders, canceling appointments, asking for days off of work or what have you. I just don't log on. But it's dead. As you can see, I've made $0 on both Uber and this car is pulling over. Why am I pulling over? It's following the car in front of me. That's interesting. So I guess it does follow the lead car when it's doing stuff. He's back there making a U-turn. And I guess that's good if he's trying to avoid something in the road. We are in a 55, but it's choosing to only do 46. The road is clear. It could do 55. I do have it in the average mode. Yeah, the speeds are like everywhere on here. We're just continuing down. But like I say, I have $0 on Uber, $0 on Lyft right now. I have actually been online for over 2.5 hours. It's so dead here that I am actually going to probably wind up driving up towards McAllen or somewhere to get some rides. So people on the island that might be upset that they can't get a ride to the airport, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to sit around for hours and make no money. That doesn't pay the bills. It is pretty out here. It is relaxing out here. We have an adventure park down here where they have horseback riding on the dunes and a zip line. Also red line helicopter that does tours, helicopter towards the island. We also have a lot of dolphin tours. And redline helicopters also flies over SpaceX in Boca Chica. I was thinking about turning around, but I'm just going to let it keep going to the end of the road. Let's see how it handles the end of the road, where the road terminates. See if we get a nice smooth stop there, or if it really brakes hard. Now, sometimes when we have high winds, like the storms we've had before, a lot of this sand blows across the road, and you get some pretty bad speed bumps, basically, from the wind, from the sand. You can still see some standing water from some rain they've had. Sometimes this road is flooded. I do have a video from where I that was a little rough, but it's okay. Drove up and down here after one of the storm bands have hit the island, when the floodwaters have kind of gone down some. A lot of potholes developing here that they need to patch. Again, we are in a 55. It's only doing 47. When I have it in Automax, if I hit the scroll up, it should understand I want it to go faster. It doesn't. If I scroll down, it should understand I want to go slower. It ignores that. I don't want to set a speed. I just want to tell it, hey, slow down. You know, you're going too fast, or hey, speed up. You're going way too slow. Yeah, I don't know. It's last thing I did was scroll down. It's now been 48 miles per hour. And you can see clearly there's no reason for it not to do 48. Yesterday evening at sunset, when the sun was going down, dusk, again, windshield wipers kicking on for no reason. Very common down here. I get that quite a bit. A lot of times between the island and the Brownsville airport on that Highway 4, for some reason the windshield wipers come in and thinks it's raining even when it's not. I don't know what it is about that area. And also that same stretch, it doesn't want to see the 65 mile per hour speed limit signs or the 75 mile per hour speed limit signs. It just completely ignores them. Sometimes it'll go into the highway stack mode where I can actually get it to go faster. Here we have Redline helicopter. They also have some buggy or beach buggy type things here now. Sand monsters, or sand monsters they call it. This is beach access 6. You can actually drive through here and then drive down the beach. Some people get stuck out there, but yeah, you can keep going for quite a long ways down the beach driving. I've taken my car down it a few times on the beach. We've got some RVs here that someone set up and they actually rent them out in Airbnb. Right there on the beach. We've got the Gulf of Mexico to the right, and the bay on the left-hand side here. I am still online right now. Uber and Lyft only works, show rides available with an 8-mile radius. So I'm getting kind of out here outside the 8-mile radius. That's okay. I'm gonna, like I said, we're not too much further from the end of the road. I can see the towers from the zip lines at the Adventure Park. But yeah, right now I'm testing with no navigation set, and it doesn't want to follow my directions with the turn signals. It's relaxing, it's peaceful here, but it's gotten so slow. I don't know what it is this past year. The tips have gone down. People just don't tip, or it's between $1 and $3 instead of $5 and $10 like it used to. And when you're doing a $3 ride, or it used to be a $4 ride, but now since Uber takes more, it's a $3 ride. But a $4 ride and a $5 tip, that's $9. That's a decent. That's good. But now it's $3 rides and maybe a $1 tip, $4. Sometimes, okay, it's given the turn signal here, it's pulling to the shoulder. And now it's deciding to continue on. I haven't done nothing. Oh, I don't know why it did that. There's no navigation set yet. And now it's really getting up there. It's doing 55, 56. You know, this is wild. What is it thinking? Why did it pull over? That was interesting. And like I said, I haven't touched the accelerator or anything. It just kind of pulled over on its own. Now we are coming towards the end of the road. I really wish it would start slowing down right here. It is doing 53. It needs to come down a little bit slower. We're coming up to a few little bitty sandbars. They don't look bad. But we are coming to the barriers for the end of the road. Some more sandbars. 50 miles per hour. It is slowing down some. Road ends 1,000 feet. Road ends 5,000 feet. Come on, let's see what you do. You see the barriers. You should see the barriers. You should see the barriers. It's coming. Okay, it's braking. It's braking. It's braking. It's braking. Oh, and it's going to try to turn. I don't know where you're turning to. You're getting into the sand. Okay. I'm going to take over here because full self-driving will not back up. This has been very interesting. Let me put it into reverse. I don't want to touch the brake because every time I do that, I get a hard braking, even if I'm very near a stop. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of baffled why, no navigation. It pulled over and came to a stop on the shoulder, and then it continued on its own. That was really kind of weird. I'm going to re-enable here. It's thinking. We're lined up. You can go. Okay, and it took a few moments. I'm not sure what the pause was. There's very, very, very little cellular data out here because we're so far from the cell tower. So it could be the car trying to get information about the road or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was interesting, and it's avoiding that. It didn't do it for these over here. So is it avoiding that little bit of sand coming out in the road? And I can feel it kind of being more cautious there. We're at 47 miles per hour again, 46 and a 55. That was odd. Interesting, but odd. So even if you're not using navigation or not telling the car where to go, is it using some type of navigation itself? Because it was giving it looked like on the screen that it was ending, has reached its end of navigation. So, yeah, I hope y'all get a trip out of this. And, we've gone 15 miles. I don't remember what the mileage was when we first started. I have to go back and look. I look at Testify so I can see the entire drive, so I know, but I think it's a total of 10 miles this road is. But, And I'm just doing this video right now as I'm basically trolling for any Uber or Lyft rides. Hopefully when we get back within range of the hotels and stuff, I might get somebody going to the airport. You know, a lot of people early in the morning on their bikes going up and down this road. You know, and like I say, some of the things I run into that it has a problem with is just stupid. And it's just navigation issues. It's not dangerous. It's just dumb stuff. And this guy on the bike, okay, yeah, there's a lot of sand on the road, so he's in the lane, in the middle of the lane. Let's see how the car is going to handle the biker. Should give him some. It should pass him. Let's see. He's okay. It's giving the turn signal. It's switching lanes. It's passing him nicely, giving him plenty of room. That is good. We have a little bit of trash in the road. Nothing hazardous. Looks like a baseball cap and some towels. That towel, I wish we would have kind of avoided more, but that's one thing I do worry about the full self-driving is its ability to see potholes and hazards in the road, trash in the road. I guess some of that could be hazardous and dangerous and cause accidents and everything else I've seen. And I think it does a good job. Like I said, I was coming back the other night and getting near, heading towards Kingsville, and I'm in a 75 mile per hour zone doing 75 mile an hour, and all of a sudden there's a car coming head on. The car takes the shoulder like it should. And I'm kind of braking, and you know, after it's over on the shoulder, I'm kind of braking, and so as the next person went to the left of the car, and we were both just kind of sitting there, stopping and looking, and the guy kept going. He's driving the wrong way on a highway. He should have been on the other side. With all these vehicles, including semi-trucks, coming at him at 75 miles per hour, and as we watched him, he just kept going and going and going. It's like, what the hell? I really hope no one hit him. I see the comedian Stephen Wright, you know, I can't remember exactly the joke, but it was something like, I was heading to the party the other night, and undoubtedly I was late because everybody else was coming back. Which is him driving the wrong way on the one-way road. Check out some of his videos. I mean, very dry, I kind of like that humor, the way he can do that. And it's moving over to avoid some of the sand in the road. That is good. I have a gnat in here that I can't get. Little bitty things so damn fast. Got somebody over here using one of the powered parachute gliders. He likes to fly up and down the island. I think he actually gives lessons and rents them out too. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you can see that. This should be in 4K, so you might be able to zoom in and see it. There's another beach access. This is Texas. You see a lot of pickup trucks here. that just looks like a relaxing way to just, spend your morning going up and down the island. SpaceX is having their beach cleanup over there. I really would love to have gone and done that, but I don't have time. I have to work. I have to try to make money. As you can see, we have spent, I don't know, 30 minutes in this video so far. Still absolutely no rides or anything. It's a Saturday. Look how quiet the island is. It really should be busier than this. I feel it's a lot to do with the economy. We're kind of up to 35 mile per hour sign. So the car is slowly slowing down. We've got a bunch of buses here. There is a convention going on. I'm not sure exactly what the convention is. People across the road, seagulls. But since they're using their own buses to shuttle back and forth for the convention, there are very few rides for me. Both Uber and Lyft. We've got some, Lyft bonus zones there, but this will probably disappear by the time I get there. And if I can get into one of those areas, then that is what's added to my next Lyft ride. If I turn Lyft off, that disappears once, if you don't get a ride. The problem is, sometimes I've had up to a $15 one that I actually got one. It's $15 for next ride. And all day long, 12 hours, 0 rides on Lyft. I get by far more rides on Uber than Lyft. I've done over 13,000 rides on Uber and about 2,000 rides on Lyft. And the car is still in good shape with all these strangers. I mean, all the driving between the airports and stuff, the rock chips on the windshield, I've replaced the windshield a few times. I did do some work to the front end, the struts and stuff, have that done, after all the speed bumps and dips and everything in Brownsville. Some of those are really bad. But otherwise, no problems with the car at all. This actually increased. It was $4.50. Now it's $5. So we are heading that way. If there's someone actually requesting a ride, I don't know. But they usually do that to try to get drivers in the area, because they seem to think the demand is high. So we should be entering the edge of that. So I should be starting to see something of a bonus being added for my next ride. Okay, so we're now at $1.50 bonus zone. So yeah, maybe I might get into that $5 bonus zone, but then I may never have a lift ride. Who knows? We still have no navigation set. The car is just doing its drive. We're now in a 4. So we get a lot of these golf carts here. A lot of times FSD has had issues with the golf carts. It can't figure out if it's a car, a motorcycle, or people. Now the $5 disappeared, but I'm already have the 4, so. We do have the shuttle buses on the island that go back and forth every 30 minutes. Those are actually free to ride. We also have a bonus area for Uber coming up, $1.75 bonus. Which is strange. That usually comes up when there's like a big demand in the area. There might be a couple of other Uber drivers on the island right now working the area. They know I live at the Holiday Inn Beach Resort, so they purposely come down there and park next door to block the rides. The other Uber driver that lives on the island, he lives on the other end, he doesn't do that. Most of the time it's people coming in from Brownsville or Harlingen. Why did they do that? Well, you figure a short ride pays $3. And if someone tips $3, that's $6. If you're driving people in the city of Brownsville or Harlingen or McAllen, they're trying to get back and forth to work. They're trying to make a living. They don't have a vehicle. They can't afford to tip. So you have a less likely chance of them tipping. We're at $1 right now. Now coming up here, if I was to navigate to the hotel, it wants to go up and do a U-turn instead of making a left at the light. Right now, we're just trying to figure out where the car is going to go. What is it going to do on its own? But yeah, for some reason, the Tesla navigation never wants to map making a left turn here at the light. It wants to go up and do a U, come back, and then make a right. That's still there. That's been like that for 4 years, since I've been here on the island. It wants to come to this stop and make a right, or make a left here, and do a loop around. So I'm going to go ahead and let it know I want to go to the hotel. Navigate to the Holiday Inn Beach Resort. Since we already found out that it appears that if I get the turn signal for it to turn on a road, it's not going to do that. It could do this, but we're in the far right lane. It would need to be in the left lane for that. We're in a 30 miles per hour zone. And interesting, it sees the speed limit 35. And it will continue to see the speed limit 35 when we're coming this way. But if I'm coming from the bridge over here onto here, it will pass the 30 mile per hour sign and then shortly after switch to 25. There's no 25 mile per hour sign, but only when coming from the bridge. In the previous builds. And I can't see how that is map data because I'm driving the same road. I'm just going on it from a different route. I'm not making a right on it. So that tells me there's something in the navigation data when you are telling it to drive somewhere. Not the map data. See, here we have the 30 mile per hour sign. You know, it sees the sign, no problem. if I'm coming from the bridge, for some reason, right about here, it switches down to 25. But now it's not. It's staying 30 because I'm going straight. And I think that's kind of odd. And we're gonna wait for the sheep. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this here. Let's see if we can gonna add that and see if it's on our board. So what I'm going to try to do is a little parking area to go take pictures of the South Padre Island sign. Let's see what happens. Exact same stretch of road. See if this is long enough without going across the bridge. So we have both Uber and Lyft both having a bonus on the next ride, but no rides popping up. If I open up the Uber app itself, let's see. There's only one other Uber driver on the other side of the island. If I go to Lyft, I can go see nearby drivers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers nearby. 5. Okay, it's in this right-hand lane. It should be in the left-hand lane. Waiting on the light. A lot of dragonflies this morning. That's good for the mosquito population. Okay, it is getting into the left-hand lane, which is good. Come on. It's thinking about it. It's not doing it yet. It shouldn't do it in an intersection. But... Okay, so it's not switching lanes. But it's going to make the turn. It's getting that lane at the very last second. That was kind of weird. Yeah, it's pulling over. That's good. No problem. It's going to come to a stop. And then from here, I'll put it into park. And then we're going to continue trip. And this is the exact same road we just drove on. So engage here. Car is thinking about going. Any day now. I might have to push it, but I'm being patient. Let's see what happens. I'll put it into assertive mode. There's no reason for it just to sit here like this, but it's also funny how it's just working the steering wheel back and forth. I mean, is it watching the traffic? I'm going to give it a little bit of a nudge to let it know. Okay. So I gave it a nudge, straightened the steering wheel out. It is busy watching for an opening in the traffic. Let me get rid of this here. It found an opening. It's going over. You see, it's 30 miles per hour. It's making the right here. It doesn't visualize a 30 mile per hour sign that time in the curve. And a lot of times, there, 25 miles per hour. Why? Why does it, when I make the turn? Now there's a 30-mile-per-hour sign. It sees that and it goes, is it because it doesn't see that 30-mile-per-hour sign and eventually defaults to 25? I'm not sure. Can it make it into the hotel parking lot? This version's been having a harder time doing that, but this time it seems to be getting it. Yesterday it missed it twice. Navigation data is usually a real pain. You can see the map here where it shows where the turn is. The problem is that's not accurate. There is no road right where that line is. That is the road. It's like it's off by a little distance. And that's from Google. There's nothing but a wall up there. So the car is actually going to wind up going too far. It's past the turn because it's looking for the turn here, which, I'm sorry, that is not a turn. That is just a temporary parking space. This is the map data that is wrong. Sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it doesn't. And it's sitting here, it's actually going to. It's saying navigation complete. It gave up. So what I'm going to do is turn around here. But you can see that's not where the road is. Navigation issues. Always navigation issues. Map data. Navigation issues. It's consistent. And we're back at the hotel parking lot. I'm going to go ahead and end this video so I don't have a huge 2-hour-long video. It's already quite long as it is. Still no rides. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and just navigate to McAllen. I can't stay here and wait for nothing. As we swing around here, on the island we have 2 superchargers. They're old 75 kilowatt urban chargers. You actually see 3, but it's only 2. This back one that he's plugged into does work, and the other one works, but the front one is just, it was a part of the pedestal that they installed. But we also have 10 destination chargers over here at the Holiday Inn Beach Resort. So you can always come check it out. Somebody's license plate mount is over there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this ride, or end this video, and probably head to McAllen. Thank you. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe.